Well, we decided to move this into the car because, well,
We have AC. It's 98 degrees outside. I was telling Lori I feel like the boy bounce in here.
well, not only that,
It's getting hot in here.
our device overheated, so here we are. But this is fun.
Yeah,
This is
at least we
something
can
more
have
fun.
AC. I like that.
Whoops,
Oops.
sorry. We're still learning the car trick. Okay, I think that'll work. How's that? So we were talking about when we call the police and how the police never seem to uh, listen to the victim or the survivor at the time. They always seem to listen to the abuser. And a lot of that too, I think, is because the abuser has what I call honed their skills, and they know how to talk that fast talk that oh,
Just
she's
spin it
crazy.
just the right way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to put up with. My ex abuser number two, he was he reminded me of a used car salesman, very
Oh,
slick
yes.
with his words. But it was funny because there was a couple words I remember him using out of context, and I was like, "Do you know what that word means?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I do," and I'm like, "I don't think you do." And
You're
I
like,
had to
no.
literally Google it and show him
Oh
on the
my gosh.
Webster's dictionary. So
I'm
that's
sure you loved that.
not
I'm
so
sure you
much.
loved that.
But that also kind of goes hand in hand with what else we're talking about is as a victim or a survivor, you feel that you have to prove every single thing you say.
Yeah.
And we're conditioned to do so. And that's, for me, that's one of the hardest things I've had to learn to not do. And it was because somebody had said something to me like, you don't need to explain yourself down to every little detail.
Yeah.
You need to just tell your story and know that it
Straight to the
holds.
point. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is
Yep.
what happened. This is how it happened. It's hard because you're emotionally invested in the issue and
Mm-hmm.
you're defensive and you're feeling attacked and you're feeling overwhelmed, and it's hard to stop that emotion and just try to stay focused on what the issue is, so you don't feel supported sometimes when you go forward. And it was really hard for you to go forward to begin with. So
Yep.
when you do go forward, and I actually had that experience with a boyfriend that I'd had. And I think because I came out of the church, just conditioned to accept that type of treatment, it was easy for me to just go right back into another abusive
Mm-hmm.
relationship because I accepted a love bombing. I had never really experienced that kind of attention, and I felt loved and I felt seen in a way that I'd never.
Yeah.
But my guide for that was very small, very
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It didn't take much because I didn't have anything. So what he gave me felt like $1 million. It
And
felt like,
it's what we're used to.
yeah,
So it's a comfortable feeling. Someone once told me to, I don't know if I've shared this yet. You know when you are getting ready, say, to meet somebody new or go out with somebody new, and you get those feelings in your tummy, those butterflies? They actually told me that that is a sign, a red flag that you should pay attention to because you should not be getting
I
that.
mean, I definitely feel like when I have those butterflies that I certainly can't trust myself at that time,
Mm-hmm.
because I read today that if you look through life through rose-colored glasses, it's harder to see the red flags.
Oh,
And
definitely.
I was like, well, duh, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
true. But when you see it written, it makes sense in your head in a different way
Mm-hmm.
than just saying it off the cuff, because it really has an impact, especially when you're going through things. It those things and those meanings and those sayings, they really do impact us.
Yes,
And
they do.
I've taken quite a few of those types of statements through my challenges, having to get through what I had to get through.
Yeah.
But I had at the hospital I worked at, there was a domestic violence when it was in the Galleria, and it was a show, right? So they had like all these booths down throughout the Galleria different companies that focused on domestic violence resources, all kinds of things. It was very interesting. It was like a fair,
yeah, that
domestic
would be
violence fair. And
amazing.
I had been, this boyfriend of mine, he had actually threatened to kill me and my son. And he said it in my ear as he had his hands around me. And he had said, I can kill you and Kevin right now. And there's nothing you can do about it. I said my son's name. I didn't mean
That's okay. Just ignore that.
to. But I went to this booth and I walked up and I said, I honestly didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out of the situation. I didn't know who to talk to, what to ask. I really didn't even know what questions to ask. It was very confusing, but I walked in and I said, how do you know if you are in domestic violence? And she said, well, has something happened? And I explained the situation and she says, I need you to stop right now. If you tell me anything else, you could potentially lose your child. So the first thing I did was clam up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not losing my child. No way. I instantly felt very alone
Yeah.
after that. And I felt like I had no help. And I had to try to figure out how to end this before anything worse happened.
Yeah.
But at that point, by the time we got to that point, I was definitely fighting back. He would say something mean to me, and I would say something mean back. I just got very defensive, very re-attacking him because I got tired of him attacking me all the time for no reason, for nothing. I didn't do anything. I'd just been working all day. I'm so tired, and I come home, and now I'm a bitch. Now I am not good enough. I don't make him happy. I'm not making enough money. Just all these negatives that I have no control over, that I can't change, that there's nothing I could do about it, and just making me feel even worse.
Probably
And
more of a projection.
yeah, I mean, it was
For
really hard. And then to finally get the nerve to go and at least ask a question. There was a couple of times that my friends that lived in the apartment complex came and rescued me to get me away from him for a few days. That happened a couple of times. And I still went back. I gave him a chance every time. I really wanted to believe that he was going to change. I wanted to believe that he really did love me enough to make it different. And
yeah,
he,
that's the hard part.
I had to accept that he loved me the most he ever would and ever could.
That he's capable
And
of.
that he's capable of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was going to get. And I had to stop expecting things from people because the expectation is where it hurts when they don't follow through. Half the times you have expectations on people and you have never even verbalized what
Yeah.
the expectations are, but you have these expectations
Mm-hmm.
on each other, and it's not really fair unless you know what those expectations are,
Yeah.
just like as a friend, if you have an expectation that what does a real important friend do for you, right? I want you to call me every day, I want you to text me every day, I want you to respond to all my messages. Sometimes we have requirements like that
Yeah.
we haven't really stopped to think about, but we're mad at our friends for not doing the things we expect and want them to do, or partners, even, or anybody else that we come in contact with. So I had to learn to reduce that,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, when you have expectations, you're just really setting yourself up
For hurt.
yeah.
You really
I
get hurt.
I had a best friend and he was amazing. He's really the only one that was around during the 5 years that I was pretty much on my own. And one day we got into this fight and he looks at me and he goes, "You just have too high of expectations." And it wasn't funny at the time because it upset me.
Yeah.
But he truly did have a point. I had unrealistic expectations because I didn't know how to have normal ones.
Yeah.
And I thought, if he did this, this, or this, well, we're not really friends. Well, I am very grateful for him, and I don't know if he'll ever see this, but he'll know that it's him I'm talking about. He is probably the only person that really taught me how to be and how to have a friend. And it's kind of funny because, I was quite a bit older in life. Um, and to learn friendship at that age was very much a blessing, but it was also very much different than what I had expected what I thought my friends would be. And it probably explains why I was alone for all those years because, well, I know most of it. A lot of people didn't know what was going on in my life. I am the type of person that when life gets hard, I just get silent and I go within myself and I plan and conquer whatever it is I need to do. But I have learned, and this might be a good thing or a bad thing, that I have to do it on my own.
Is that something that you just had, that's your normal way to react, is just to shut down, or was that how you were when you were younger till now?
No,
That's something you've learned over time.
yeah, because when I was going through hell, I had nobody. None of my friends understood. None of them really cared to want to understand. And at the time,
Most people don't, which is
yeah.
unfortunate.
And at the time, I didn't understand why they weren't listening to me or believing me until you get out of that and you realize a lot of people can't wrap their mind around something that they've never experienced.
Right.
And I have a one friend from high school. She was, busy with her life during the time I was going through hell, but she's not one that gives compliments out freely. She's kind of a tough cookie. But when I
makes you work for it
a little bit. But when I graduated with my paralegal degree, and I actually got 2 degrees, and I also graduated with honors while I was battling 2 abusers in court for 2 different things. And she just one day I don't know if I was feeling sorry for myself or what I was doing, but she basically was like, "Girl, shut the fuck up. You are amazing. Do you realize what you've done?" And then she's like, "I am so proud of you." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I'm gonna start crying now too. She really was probably one of the only people in the last 20 years, if not the only one, that I truly believed what she was saying.
Yeah.
And the fact that she said it and how proud she was and how much she boosted me up was just absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for that. And for her, she still calls and checks on me. She called me. She's like, "So are you burnt up like a hot dog?" Yes. That's kind of her humor. And I'm like, "Not yet." But, it's her way of calling and checking on me and making sure that I was okay. And
I love that.
appreciate it.
I did too. My therapist that I saw for those 3.5 years, we were very close. So she gave me some really good advice. I wanted to be through my pain. I was out of it. I was on my own. Why did I have to keep suffering? I didn't understand any of that. And she said, "I'm going to tell you that as long as you were in it, it's going to take you that much time or longer to get out."
Yeah.
And that's very true. And for me, when I heard that, I just accepted it because it gave me an understanding for myself that I need to be patient with myself, that it's going to take time. If I haven't had a night terror in a year and a half, and then all of a sudden memories start popping back in,
Yeah.
things start coming back up, and now they're back, you feel like you're having a setback. You feel like you maybe haven't grown as much as you thought. No, you're still in the process. You're still on the path. It takes time for ourselves to really heal from that type of trauma. It's traumatic.
Very much
And
so.
it's something that we don't actually see,
And I think it's even
on the outer.
It might be even more difficult at times because we're so used to living in it. So then we also have to not only come to grips with that, we have to learn to live a different way, a new normal. And sometimes I think
That's scary.
Yeah,
That's a scary
It's
feeling.
very difficult and
Yeah.
it's very scary, but very much needed.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
We can't live in and I was talking earlier before the camera overheated. I'm going through some stuff, and I think I'm through most of it okay, but the one thing I keep having is visions of this person's face and the anger that this person had when they came to verbally attack me. And, you
Well, I
know,
think it was traumatizing to
mhm,
you. I think when you get yourself in a position where you're not experiencing that type of behavior from an opposite gender, that
mhm,
you know where you were receiving that type of behavior from a spouse, from a partner, from a companion in your life,
yeah,
and you've been away from it for a while, and you come back and someone has the gall to treat you that way,
mhm,
to blatantly disrespect you in a public way, that they have no ties to you other than a coworker. It's
mhm.
absolutely atrocious, but it instantly reminds you that you're still healing from that.
Yes, it does. And that's the thing I think that
And that's
I've,
okay.
the last couple of weeks.
That's okay.
It is, but it's
It
also,
makes you mad, maybe.
it's frustrating because I have all these goals I want to reach, and I feel like I'm dwelling in something that I don't need to dwell in. And I'm not a dweller.
Yeah.
It's just every time that I close my eyes, I see that anger, and I am
It was
not.
scary.
And
That was
it's,
scary. I'm sorry. That was
it
rude. That was
is.
horrible.
Well, and the other part is Michelle and I live in a very small area, so we are. Well, I shouldn't say we. You don't
We
really
are in
have.
a small area. We
Yes,
are have a small community.
and I'm going to see this person at some point.
Yeah.
And all I can think of myself doing is just laughing because I think that he thought he was going to set me up for failure when all he did was screw himself.
Yeah.
And that truth will come out eventually, but for right now, I'll just leave it at that.
But I don't think that's a negative on your part at all.
No, but it's just hard to, and then everybody in the small town is finding out what's going on. And so,
Have their input.
and when I try to defend myself, it's all of a sudden, oh, I don't want to be involved. Well, then why did you call me and ask me what's going on? You
Yeah.
don't need to call me if you don't want to. I don't know. To me, that's a fake kind of caring. And I don't do well with fake and make believe.
No.
I like cold hard facts,
I need it straight.
pretty much.
No, but when I was talking about most people don't care, the part that I was saying was most people are more interested in what's impacting them. They're not really worried
Mm,
about how they're impacting others, how they're coming across, how they're being interpreted. They don't literally care. I can tell you, I've heard so many people say, well, that's just the way I am. Just accept it. That's just who I am. That's
yeah.
just the way I'm going to be. And if you don't like it, don't be around me. Well, then I'm sorry. I'm not going to be around you because I
No.
can't be. I that's actually very triggering to me as well, and I just want to be patient with people and be kind, and I don't want to be in a constant stressful place where I have to sit here and feel like I'm going to have to defend myself. So
Yeah. The
I pull
battle.
yeah, I pull myself completely away from situations like that because I've had to endure a lot already in my life, and I think the best thing I could do for myself is protect myself.
Same. Yeah, and that's probably a lot of the reason. So, uh, we learn stuff about ourselves all the time. And I think what I've learned in this last few weeks is push me down, fucker, and watch me bounce back up twice
I'm
as
coming back.
wise.
I'm like
Yep.
the phoenix rising
Yeah.
from the ashes.
And I'll be wiser and stronger
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time.
And we'll just keep educating ourselves, keep
Yep.
strengthening ourselves, keep healing. One of the things too is like triggers. We talked about triggers.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid of triggers, in my opinion, because I've I've come to just accept them as reminders that I haven't healed completely yet.
Yep. That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah,
And that could be an area that needs some more work
yeah,
or even just some more kindness on yourself.
yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to learn is to be more kind. It's funny, we were talking about the book The Body Keeps the Score. If you've never read it, I highly suggest reading it. And I even might read it again. But I'm very much a physical person that has to work the trauma out. And I was telling Michelle earlier, I got up early, went outside, tilled a whole bunch of my area up. in this 98, 90 whatever degree
Very
weather
therapeutic for you,
with
though, probably, right?
with a whole bunch of smoke getting inhaled. But the one thing I did do is I was sweating and I was physical and I did all that and I feel so much better.
That's good. You got it out. You got a little work therapy,
Yeah,
but
I
nature therapy too.
yes, it would be nice if the smoke would go away.
Yeah.
But and so for some people they can sit and talk. Some people like me, I don't necessarily need to talk, but I need to sweat and I need to move my body and I always try to put it into something that I can do.
Yeah.
I
Same here.
needed to
Get
my
busy
front
doing
area of
something.
my house looking
Yeah.
better because it's overgrown.
And I paint. I
Mhm.
paint. I love to paint. And
Mhm.
so I just turn that energy into something constructive where I can feel proud of myself. And a lot of things and thoughts go through your mind when you're working on a project like that. You think about things and see things differently. And it's very interesting to just kind of give your mind that time to heal, and it allows it to focus, which I think is important.
Oh, very much so. But well, I think that we will say goodbye for now. There's a lot of people coming to the river, so we probably should boogie out of here and let them have some space. But thank you for joining
Thank you
us.
so much. We appreciate you watching our episode, and
Absolutely.
we're
And
going to try to do some fun things. We're probably going to try to do some meditation episodes, some different things that we've learned that were helpful to us, and maybe those things can be helpful to somebody out there too.
yep, I agree. So we will be back next week. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much and have a great week.
Bye.